Hola, hey, hi, hello. If you don't know, my name is Ashley, and I started this page just because I was recently diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, and I could not search and find someone that actually went into detail about what they were experiencing, what their diagnosis was, what the doctor said. So I just wanted to share my journey and provide insight on I guess my journey, my experiences. So if you have any questions, please feel free to you can comment on this video, or you can send me a private message. I am a really outgoing person and I like to connect with people. So yeah, just hit me up and let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. But I did want to do kind of like an introduction, introduce myself. So like I said, my name is Ashley and I live in Louisiana. I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. And I also have cancer in my lymph nodes, which is under my arm. So yeah, that's so exciting, so great, right? Not so much. But I just kind of want to give a rundown of the first, I guess after I was diagnosed, kind of what they said my treatment plan would be. So when I was laying in the bed and I was kind of like rubbing on my boobs, and I was like, oh wait, this feels weird. I have a lump on my right boob. So I kind of played with it and I was like, maybe I should see a doctor. So I called my OBGYN and he made an appointment for me to go see a breast specialist. So I went to the breast specialist and I kind of knew she felt something that was wrong, because she was like, hey, I'm going to call right now and get you in to get a mammogram and an ultrasound. So I was like, okay, but whatever. So I went down and got my mammogram and my ultrasound. And then the lady who did my ultrasound, she walked out. And so a neurologist walked in and he was like, yeah, so I'm going to let you go back up and get your results back from the breast specialist. So I was like, okay. So when I went upstairs, she showed me what it looked like in the lumps in my breast. So I ended up having 2 lumps in my breast, and I thought that I only had 1. But it ended up being 2 that were side by side and kind of connected to each other. So it made it 1. They told me, well, they didn't give me a measurement right then and there. So I was like, okay, fine. But then I end up, so they scheduled me for a biopsy to see if it was benign or it was actually cancerous. Oh yeah. And then also whenever I did my biopsy, my ultrasound, they found the lump under my arm, which I did not feel. I did not have any pain. And honestly, the one in my boob, I didn't have any pain neither. I just went because I felt something. So I did my biopsy, and I remember driving and the doctor calling me and he's like, yeah, unfortunately the 2 lumps in your breast, they're positive, and the one in your arm is positive as well. And I remember being on the phone with my best friend and just start crying. And shout out to Nana. She's like, you need to pull over. It's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. And she's at work and she's like, do you want me to come to you? I'm like, no, I'm driving down the highway. And she's like, pull over and it's fine. So we kind of talked through it. But my doctor wanted me to come in so we can do a treatment plan. But of course, the next day, or I think that day, I was scheduled to fly out to go to Mexico. And so I talked to him and I was like, okay, I have this trip plan. Should I end it early? Should I come back? And he was like, you know what? No, you go on your vacation, because it's going to be a journey after that. So I was like, okay. My plane landed on Tuesday night around 11 p.m. and he wanted me to come in at 7:30 a.m. the next morning. So when I went into the doctor, it was a lot. like a lot fast. And like, he pretty much laid it out like, hey, we're going to do a full workup. I had to do a PET scan, an MRI of my breast. We looked at like if I had tumor markers. We did genetic testing. I was also on birth control, the Mirenas, and it was, and Mirena have hormones. So I had to stop that, because my breast cancer is also hormone feeding. So they think like it spread because it was feeding off the hormones. So I had to stop I had to remove my birth control. So like that was the first step. And I had to also see a cardiologist. So then after that, I had to get a port installed, which they put the port like in my chest there. And that would help the chemo get directly into my bloodstream. So then I started chemo, and I'm going to do chemo for 6 months. And then after the 6 months of chemo, I had an option to remove one breast or both breasts with a mastectomy. So I'm going to get a double where they're going to remove both. And the reason I chose both is because there's a high % chance that it could be reoccurring in the other breast. So I'm like, hey, just take them off. So they're going to take off both of those. And then I have to do chemo again for 6 months. And after that 6 months of chemo, I have to do radiation, which I'm not excited. I'm not excited about any of this, but like the radiation is going to burn my skin. And so I'm not excited about the radiation, but I'm going to do 6 weeks of radiation. And then after the 6 weeks of radiation, I have to go back every 3 months just for checkups to make sure everything is fine. So we're going to do like PET scans and labs just to like make sure everything is fine. So yeah, that's pretty much a summary really fast of like what's happening, what's going on with me. If you have any questions, like I said, just DM me, or you can write it under this post, and I'm going to be an open book. And like I said, I'm going to share my journey as I go through it. I'll probably do my next video saying like what my chemo drugs are and like the side effects of it and like what they cause and things like that. So yeah, thank you, and make sure you follow my journey. So click follow. Thanks.